Very good morning, chat. Now it says Wednesday. Why does that say Wednesday on there? This is all going disastrously wrong this morning. Just a minute. 14. Does that mean everything else has been thrown out? 1 minute. Thursday. Because you have to do these things right. Because some idiot will moan. Oh, you've got the date wrong. Good morning. It's Thursday the 14th of February 2019. A warm welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire with sound. With sound, I'm very pleased to tell you we have sound now. We didn't a moment ago, and I did want to sort of switch off and come straight back into it, but unfortunately I couldn't do that. It wasn't set up to be able to do that, which is why you had to have the whole 5-minute thing at the beginning again. Otherwise it just it wouldn't have worked, unfortunately. So sorry about that. It was me. I'd forgot to push a button. There was a couple of things that had gone wrong the first time. The biggest one of which was there appeared to be like a 35-second delay into what I was doing here and then what you were seeing. Usually it's no more than 10 seconds, 12 at max. So I thought, there's something amiss here. So while I was trying to sort that out and see what was going wrong there, and then something else went wrong and I just completely forgot to push the sound button when the mic should have come on there. So sorry about that, boys and girls. Now, the messages might be a little bit mixed up for the first couple of minutes. Those messages you sent in, because we might have a combination of the old ones and the new ones as well until I get through those. So I'll read those immediately now. In the hope some of the old ones won't have got through at all. Some will have. Indeed, some of the newer ones that you might have sent in the last minute might not have got through, but they should be all right from now. So I can see on my screen there, Jerry Millen, good morning, Jerry. Adam the Plumber's there. Katie Ann Patterson, good morning. Ronnie says there's no sound, so that must have been the old message. Thank you, Ronnie. Good morning. There's my mate Ronnie. I was round his house last night. He's got something wrong with his telly. Now, him and his other half can't see it. For some reason, I can see it in that the picture is out of synchronization with the sound by as much as about half a second, I would say. It's not like I'm fully aware sometimes I'm doing this show and it's slightly out, but you can get away with it. And I really notice these things. The sound and the he's got like a separate speaker system. It's the same as most people have now. You know, the telly and the sound, the picture's moving at the slightly faster rate. I think the sound, we can hear the sound before the lips move on the telly, if you see what I mean. And I looked at the adjustments. Yes, I know there's adjustments on there. Yes, people are going to scream at me. Oh, you can adjust that. I know. And I tried to adjust it, but it seems that you can only adjust it forward and not backwards. And by going forward, you make it even worse, which is an odd thing. And I'm not quite sure why that is. I had a little play around on my television this morning, but mine's working perfectly anyway. So I don't know what's causing that. Very strange indeed. Good morning to Ray Reynolds, who says, I've had interruptions all week on Facebook, so switching to YouTube, which doesn't keep stopping. Is the Facebook one stopping for you? Sorry about that. I don't know why that is. No reason for that. I don't do anything differently. Okay, good morning to Michael Pullman. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Why is it happy? Why is it happy? Is there a single rose or a card here? No. Hasn't been for about 20 years now, Michael. Nothing here. But, you know, you got the cards, you got the flowers, you got the chocolates. Ha! I've got the shirt. Check this out. I've got the shirt. Yes. Love is a many splendid thing. Love. What is all that about? Love. What is that? Doesn't exist. Love. I've got the shirt. Check it out. Thank you. Have you got one of these? Would you like a twirl this morning? Would you like a twirl? Oh, give us a twirl, Anthea. There we are. There's a twirl of my rose shirt. And I'm quite pleased because I've actually managed to get it on and it's not too tight around my belly. Some of the shirts have been getting a little bit too tight again. This one is going on and it's a medium. It gets even better. It's not even a large. It's a medium shirt and it fits. How fantastic is that? Thank you, Michael. Gustav says, hopefully he's got someone doing sign language. I would have someone doing sign language, but unfortunately I haven't got anyone small enough to fit in the little corner of the screen like they do on the telly. You know that's only small people that do that, don't you? You know when they have the sign language on the telly? Yeah, that is small people are employed to fit in the corner of your TV screen. It must be very small on your TV. Gustav hasn't even got a flat screen telly. He's got one of those old black and white things. Can't understand. I told him they turned the transmitters off years ago. No idea at all. Thank you very much. Ronnie says, I thought it was better without sound. Yeah, you are, mate. You're so much better without sound. You really are. Oh, I was round his house last night. Me and his other half were trying to watch this airplane programme about Hong Kong Airport. Very good. It was on Channel 5 colour. And honestly, all the time when we're trying to watch it, explaining what's going on. Like we can, I'm going to take that back. You will obviously tell us what was going on because it was very confusing watching the lips and the audio out of synchronisation. Oh, I am awful. We are awful. Awful, dear. Morning to Katie Ann Patterson. Good morning, Katie. Dave Anthony. Speak up this time. Couldn't hear anything and I'm deaf. Morning, Dave. Damon Gaunter. Very good morning to you, Damon. I don't need a producer, Ronnie. We don't need a producer here. Thank you very much. Amateur. There's nothing amateur about this programme, dear. I've rehearsed this 3 times this morning. That's why I'm late. Thank you. Today's shirt, as Ray Reynolds says, is sponsored by Cadbury's Roses. Happy Singles Day, says Mark Cording. Good morning, Mark. How lovely to see you at the karaoke. I think you had a good time as well, didn't you, Monday? Quite busy Monday. A lot of people only sang twice Monday. You got to get in earlier though, Mark. No, you have got no excuse for coming late. Don't give me all that Ooh, nearly swore. I hate that word. SH, that one. I absolutely hate that word. I love the word beginning with C. That's one of my favourite words. You know the one? No, I won't say it. No, I will not bring myself down to your levels. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mark, those people that come at 8:30, they will tell you they sang 3 times. 3 times. You were lucky to sing twice, actually. Getting in that, why don't you just come earlier with everyone else? Oh, I'm so busy. No, you're not. You're not busy. You haven't got a job. Get down there early and you'll sing a little bit more. You have got the talent to want us to listen to you singing a bit more, dear. Damon, nice to be able to tune in again after being so busy over the past couple of weeks. What have you been doing then, Damon? Busy bee. Katie, TVs have souses in them. What are souses? I don't know what souses are. Don't know what they are. Mark's just getting ready to go to lunch with his girlfriend. Yeah, pretend girlfriend, mate. You haven't got one. Why pretend? I could be sitting here saying that I go out with Cristiano Ronaldo, couldn't I? It's all lies, dear. You have no girlfriend. Or here, if you want to prove it, do a live Facebook broadcast of you later, after lunch, snogging her face off. Then I'll believe you. No video? No girlfriend, mate. No girlfriend. Morning to Julian. A very good morning to Julian, who thought I was in my pyjamas this morning. How rude are you? Hello to Peter Lake. Good morning, Peter. Happy Valentine's Day to you. It's sun shining in Woodall Spa up north from the Peter Lake International Studios. Have a great day. Thank you, Peter. Morning to you and the delightful Bernadette as well up there this morning. Claire L is in the house. Posh Claire from Guildford. Good morning, Claire. Paul and Lou are from Birmingham. They're with us this morning. Good morning to you. They're loving this shirt. I'm glad you all love the shirt. Tony Power, roses are red and silence is golden. Silence is golden. Paul and Lou says it was the best show of the year so far, and then the sound came on. Well, I could just sit here and look pretty if you want me to. I can do that. I could do that. Would you want the lips as well? Those stupid lips that people do. More and more, I'm sorry, ladies, more and more of you are starting to look really stupid, having your lips pumped up like that all the time. What do you look like? Stop mucking around with your bodies, for Christ's sake. Good morning to Tashi on Facebook Live, and Adrian Richardson in the house on Vaughan Live. Thomas H is there. Pretend girlfriend. There's people with pretend girlfriends, Thomas. I'm telling you that now. They say, oh, my girlfriend, this, my... They haven't got one. There is no girlfriend. I have no boyfriend. But never mind. I've started sleeping with one of my teddies again. I have. Oh, I've just been cuddling my teddy all night long. There's a monkey, actually. I sleep with a monkey now. Not joking. I'm sorry, it's really sad, isn't it? I'm not joking. Good morning to... No, Mark says, okay, you will see the pictures. No, Mark, we don't want to see pictures of you standing next to a random girl in the street. I want to see a full-on live snog this afternoon on your Facebook Live. Then I'll believe you. How's that? Or the picture with you and her in a bed. Don't have to be anything rude. Just laying there in a bed, topless, with the covers up so that we can't see any flesh. That's what I want to see. Then we will believe you. Thank you very much. Dr. SOS Gregorian in the house. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day to you. JP's there. Hope you bought your lady something nice, JP. Something very nice. Morning to my sister. Sharon Butler is in the house. Good morning, sis. Happy Valentine's Day from your loving brother to you this morning. All right. David Wilson Boyer is in Switzerland. They got all the money there. They got all the cash in Switzerland, haven't they? What's the airport there? Switzerland. Geneva Airport. Oh my God. I was there about 10, 12 years ago. I was doing a DJ job in France, but we went into Switzerland for some reason and drove through. And I think I bought a ham sandwich and a cup of tea was something like £7 then. Each. Very, very expensive place. Good morning, David. Hello to Coco Bungie with us live this morning. Good morning. Mark's been listening to music channels before the show. Why is it they depressing breakup songs? You tell me. Why is it people sing them at karaoke's? Why do people sing depressing breakup songs at karaoke's? Have you heard the Eurovision song, Mark? Right? I was talking to DJ Chris about that. Very good friend of mine, DJ Chris, who comes to the karaoke. And I said, isn't it awful? He said, do you not think it's uplifting? I said, are you for real? Uplifting? No, it's depressing. Like, I will always love you. Some people think it's uplifting. And it's just horrendous. Horrendous songs. That's it. Thomas prefers a natural look. This is a natural look here, Thomas. Very natural. Very natural. Look, if you come close enough, you can see the lines. No work done on my face. None whatsoever. Thank you very much. Peter says you should go on X Factor. Good to see. Oh, X Factor. Well, that's all changing. That's all changing, and I shall come to that in a moment. We've got an X Factor story for you this morning. Good morning to my nephew, Gary Butler. Get off the phone, mother. You can watch this on Catch Up. Is she on the phone? Put it on the telly for her. Perhaps I will allow you to have me on in the background there, Gary. I usually am offended by that. People that have me on in the background. I like the full attention of the millions of viewers all over the world. Please don't put me on in the background. Thank you. Mark reckons the Eurovision song is rubbish. Oh, it's dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Okay. Spank the monkey. Do you want me to? Do you want me to get it? Do you want me to spank the monkey? Just a moment. I'll go and get it. Here he is. Here's the monkey that I sleep with. Here he is. Are you ready? Right, okay. Spank! Naughty monkey! Spank! Spank! There we are. Naughty monkey! Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, little monkey. Oh, no. He made me do it. You see that bloke there? Damon. Evil person. It's the voices in my head. That's what made me do it. It's the voices in my head. They're telling me to do it again. No, stop it now. No, it's Damon. It's him. It's him. He's an evil person. He's evil. Don't look at him. No, don't look at him. Nasty. Sorry, Mr. Monkey. Sorry, Mr. Monkey. That's who I sleep with now. And it's marvellous. He doesn't fart or wet the bed or anything. Wonderful. The only thing is his towels come through it's got a little hole. Have you got a better pair of these trousers, Damon? Look, it's got a little hole in the back of his trousers there. Do you know, I know some people with holes in the back of their trousers just like this. Men. Isn't that strange? Now, look, that's for his... Pardon? That's for his tail. There we are. Look. His little tail comes through the trousers. Do you remember this? Where's my sister? Do you remember this? There's a story beyond this. Years ago, I took my sister and my nephew on a plane because they'd never been on a plane before. And it was only from, I think it was Luton Airport or Stansted Airport to Glasgow and back in a day because they'd never been on a plane, right? So we got to Glasgow and it was a lovely journey. My nephew was I think 13 or 15. I can't remember now. He was really, really nervous on the plane. British Airways plane it was. And he got on the plane and wanted to get off. The thing started moving. He jumped up from his seat and wanted to get, I'm getting off. I said, well, you can't. The doors are closed and it's moving. And then the British Airways cabin crew come running down and said, everything all right here? I said, my nephew is very, very nervous. And he crouched down and he spoke to my nephew, calmed him down. I couldn't fault them. Could not fault British Airways for this experience. Anyway, eventually it went up. My nephew closed all the windows so he couldn't see out and hid under my sister's arms. Got to the airport, by which point it was okay. And eventually I think I got him to open the little things. I said, look at the clouds. He said, they're like cotton wool. I said, yes, they are. And he's looking at the clouds. And he was all right after a while. Got to the other end, got off the airport, and we went shopping, actually. We found this shopping place. And in the shopping place was one of those Build Your Bear places. You know, this Build Your Bear. So you find a little... a type of bear that you want. In this case, it was a monkey, right? And then you take it to this machine and you attach it to this machine and all this like white softy stuff goes in it to plump it up. And then you choose the clothes, a pair of pants and a little t-shirt, and he's got boots as well and things like that. And they made this, and I think by the time they finished making it, it was like 40 quid. Which was even a lot more money then than it was now. And that's only about 5 years ago. So that bear probably cost my sister about 40 quid. Got back here and they gave it to me as a thank you for going. And I've had it ever since. And that's the story of the bear. Was it Gatwick Airport? Thank you, sis. Gatwick's with us now. It was actually Gatwick Airport. The shoes are in another room, though. Nice, isn't it? Hey, you want one of those now, don't you? You absolutely want one of those. I can tell. Thank you very much, Damon, for the towel, yeah, cough. There is a hole in the backside of those trousers. Isn't it strange? My sister's animal cruelty. I will take the monkey back. No, you won't, sis, because that's who sleeps with me now, the monkey. It's wonderful. You should get one yourself. Kick the husband out of the bed. No more farting. No more smelly feet. Oh, sorry, sis, that's you, isn't it, with the smelly feet? My sister's got really bad, stinking feet. They absolutely stink. Awful. Dave's got a family reunion this weekend. Wife's side, of course. Do you make a mess of yourself or are you well behaved on family to get togethers? I'm very, very well behaved, I'll have you know. Very, very well behaved on family get togethers. We don't really have that many now. We used to have them on Boxing Day. Boxing Day, all the families used to get together and go to usually either my Auntie Shirley and Uncle John's house. Auntie Shirley no longer with us, unfortunately. Or Auntie Marion and Uncle Terry's house, and Uncle Terry no longer with us. One was in, oh God, what's the name of the area? Near Aylesbury, I think it is, at Aylesbury Way, and the other was in Morton-on-Thames, and we had some wonderful Boxing Days. Wonderful Boxing Days and the family get together. That's right, Thomas, that's my little sleeping companion. Stinking feet are not nice. Singing feet are not nice. Hello to Valentino. Good morning, Valentino. Hello to you. That's one of our doormen at the Central Station. Very popular, and he can sing, and he's a DJ, does everything. So much money, you don't know what to do with it all, do you? Gosh, good morning to Kevin Webster. Welcome along to the town show there, Kevin. Well, it's another beautiful spring day outside. We really have not had a winter. I keep saying this, We've had no winter at all. This is an early spring. Today is absolutely beautiful. I'm looking at the window, out the window at the moment, which you can probably see. Oh, which one? That one? No. Yeah, that one there. That one there. Can you see you can kind of see the sun coming in there, can't you? So the sun's shining beautifully outside. I can't wait to get out, actually. After the show, I'm going to pop down to Aldi. I meant to go last night on the way back from the swimming pool. But I stayed in the pool a little bit longer, so I didn't. By the time I left there, and Aldi had closes at 10 o'clock here. But yesterday, after I finished the show, I cycled down to Wokingham, which is not too far from here, and it's a lovely cycle. I go through a couple of fields, you know, like arable fields, and no animals in there, and beautiful. Absolutely beautiful day. There is a busy road that I say it's busy. No, it's not a busy road. It's a fast road. Not particularly busy, but fast. It's a single lane road, and it's the road between the two fields, funnily enough. But it's got a couple of really sharp turns on it. And, of course, you get the boy racers going down there at 200 mile an hour in the Audis and BMWs. Bloody nightmare drivers they are. They think they own the road, don't they? They're doing 60 mile an hour there. And believe me, they're doing 60 mile an hour. Me and my Toyota, I probably do about 40 mile an hour on those roads. 60 mile an hour they're going. And to be honest, if they don't keep their, you know, you've only got to glance down, glance up again, and there's me on my bike. The sad old bloke on his bike cycling towards Wokingham. I could have been dead. No one would know. Who would tell you if I was dead? That's the thing. No one's got any passwords or anything. No one can log on and do a special show. Good morning and welcome to United Kingdom Talk. Chris Reardon this morning is dead. No one would tell you. It would be weeks before you found out. Weeks. I could have been knocked off that bike into a little gutter somewhere. Terrible. Fortunately, as you can see, I wasn't. So I've cycled in I go over the level crossing. I like going over level crossings. I like it when level crossings close and the train comes past. Because on a bike, you're far more in touch with your surroundings, if you see what I mean. In a car, you know, the train goes past like that. When you're on a bike, you can get right up to that barrier and feel the wind and the noise and the power of a train tearing in front of you like that. I love it. I love it. So over the level crossing up there, and my first port of call was Gregg's the Bakers, because I had heard, my informants had reliably informed me that the vegan sausage rolls are now widely available. So I was hoping to receive a vegan sausage roll. So I popped into the bank first. Then I went into Gregg's the Bakers, and there they were. Two of them sitting there in that glass cabinet thing. You know, what's supposed to kind of keep things warm, but it doesn't. They're not allowed to serve you warm food or something, aren't they? Isn't that a tax issue? Some idiot put was it the pasty tax or something like that? Some idiot decided that if things are to be warmed up, that will cost you an extra 25 pence. So they're not allowed to do that anymore. But what they are allowed to do is cook them and then put them in the shelf. So what they try and do, I know this from speaking to one of them, what they try and do is not do too many at a time. So they've always got something in the oven. Then they put it in the glass cabinet. And of course, if you buy it sort of soon after it's come out of the oven, it's still warm or even hot if you're very lucky. But what they're not allowed to do is put it in something that keeps them warm. I mean, who comes up with these sort of ideas? Anyway, so there it was, a vegan sausage roll. And for £1, the pleasure was all mine. Only £1 for all that pleasure. How much did you spend taking out your girlfriend or boyfriend last week, eh? Or your wife or your husband? Hoping to get, how can we say, a little bit of pleasure later. Huh? How much did that cost you? Huh? £25 at the cinema? 50 quid on a dinner? Ah! I had loads of pleasure for £1. A £1 vegan sausage roll. I took it out of its little bag. I always give you a bag. Why don't you give you a bag? Just the amount of times I see something put in a bag, bloke or girl goes outside, takes it out of the bag and chucks the bag away. Within the space of 3 seconds, that item, why don't you just give it to someone in their hand? There you go, mate. Just take the sausage roll and start eating it. No problem, is there? No problem at all. So I bit into it. Very nice indeed. Now, it's a long time since I ate a dead animal sausage roll. As you know, I don't eat dead animals, boys and girls. He is vegetarianisms. Vegetarianisms. So I bit into this vegan sausage roll. And actually, it's, as I say, it's a long time since I had a normal sausage roll. Very little difference in the taste, if any. It was really nice. If there was one small, tiny, insignificant criticism, I would say that it is slightly drier than a normal one. But that's about it. It's the only thing I can think that would be wrong with it. It's slightly drier than a normal one. So I had my sausage roll. Highly recommended. Please try one. They're really nice. You won't notice any difference. I'm telling you that now. Please try a vegan sausage roll. Only £1. Gosh. And from there, I went down to have my hair cut. Look how wonderful I look today. Do you know, I thought I looked really hot yesterday, but today, my God, do I look hot. I can't wait for the postman to appear with my endless cards and roses this morning. Very, very exciting. And that's it. That was my morning yesterday. I cycled back through the fields. There was a massive poodle dog. There's a little bit where I come off the road and kind of go through some trees and all that. And there was a lady with 3 dogs. She had a little yappy dog. It's always the tiny ones, isn't it? They make me laugh. There was one in Amsterdam the other day when I just come out of the hospital. There was a little dog in there, some woman with a dog there. And this thing, it saw me, a little, like a chihuahua type, perhaps a little bit bigger than that. It's seen me, and then it's gone back on its hind legs. And I looked at the lady and I looked at the dog and I crouched down and I thought, well, what exactly do you think you're going to do to me? I mean, if it was a Rottweiler or a bloody German Alsatian, and I hate German Alsatians. But no, I don't hate German. It's the way they're brought up. There's a great big fat bloke here who runs a security firm, and he's got 2 really nasty dogs who hate everyone. And he walks it behind my fence here. It's not the dogs, it's how they're brought up. You see these little staffy things, you know, they're brought up. There's some lovely little friendly staffies. And then there are some others that walk around with the masks on, you know, the muzzles, because you know they're going to try to kill you. They're going to try to kill you. That's what they do. Huh? So that's the dogs. But the poodle dog, that was lovely. It just wanted a little bit of a sniff and a stroke. Ever so tall it was, this poodle dog. Funny looking thing. And that was it. Went over to my mate's house in the evening. He's got a new Ring camera. Now, if you're a regular viewer to the show, you'll know I do have a Ring doorbell camera type thing. You push the button, your picture comes up, and oh, hello, how are you? And I can talk to you wherever I am in the world, and you're at my front door. How fantastic is that, eh? Really, really good they are. And it also has several other functions, and it will actually start recording stuff as soon as it sees stuff. It doesn't wait for you to push the button. So by the time the burglar has got to the front door, right, and realised there's a camera and walks away again, too late. I've already got you, mate. The picture is immediately sent to a server somewhere in the States, I suppose, and is there until you decide to delete it. Very, very good. Well, they've got lots of other products as well now, one of which is a new camera similar to the doorbell one, but you put this up and it's got 2 lights and a siren. Blooming brilliant. And so what would happen is that you walk in front of it, immediately it activates it. Okay, if it's at night time, the lights go on my mate's phone. It will come up, you know, someone is now walking in the area, and he pushes a button and he can watch it live, again, wherever he is in the world. And he can talk through this device and also set a siren off remotely to frighten anyone away. But by which time he's already... The thing starts recording as soon as it sees something. It doesn't wait for him to push a button. So, excuse me. So by the time, if he set a siren off, because this... excuse me. By the time he's set a siren off because he's seen someone, it's already recorded someone. Don't think you're going to run away then and no one's seen you. Too late, mate. We've got you. My brother-in-law's got the doorbell one, and he got someone on there the other day stealing a car battery. Unbelievable, isn't it? So these are very good. Have a look on the Ring site. There's a lot of other companies now doing these wireless doorbells, this, that and the other, but I think Ring is probably the market leader, and you're hard pushed to find anyone who's got anything derogatory to say about them. The actual unit my mates just bought, this is the camera with the 2 lights and the siren. Bit pricey, 250 quid. Bit pricey. Would I have one though? I probably would actually, yeah, I would have one of those. Not at the moment, no. We're a little bit tight with the money at the moment. There's a lot going out at the moment. I'm a landlord and I had one of the flats turn around and I've had to completely redo it in there because the lady, she wasn't, excuse me, the lady before, she wasn't messy or anything. She'd just been there a long time and nothing had ever been decorated. She didn't want anything done. So that's why I'm a little bit short of the money at the moment. I had some chocolate cake while I was up there last night. It was a very late birthday cake. Oh, delicious. Chocolate cake from Tesco's. Yes, please. And from there, as I say, went to the swimming pool. And we watched this thing about Hong Kong Airport on the telly last night where we were up there. Very, very good indeed. And how busy it is. And how it's like the second airport that they've had in Hong Kong. The first one, they simply ran out of space. So what they did was they built a completely new airport in the sea. They moved tons and hundreds and hundreds of thousands, actually, thousands of tons of earth and bricks and rubble, dumped it into the sea and built an island. They've done the same place in all sorts of places. They've done the same thing in all sorts of places, like in Dubai, where they've got all those hotels in the middle of the sea, haven't they? Anyway, so they've dumped all this stuff and built an airport on the sea. This is some years ago, but even that now is at its full capacity. And you see the way they have to move the planes around and the cargo, and the most amazing cargo thing. It's all automatic. This all the cases are going to this place, and the things are moving around all on their own. It's very, very clever. And it only takes one thing to go wrong and then planes start backing up. And it showed you a storm that happened there. I think it was 1999, a particularly bad storm that they had. Fantastic programme about Hong Kong Airport. And the A380 came on there. And this is the weird thing. The A380 came on there, and I said to my mate Savrav, I said to him, I believe they're thinking of taking those out of production, not service, production. People just aren't buying them. And my mate Savrav, he said, well, you've got Emirates buying them. And I said Qantas. I think Qantas have bought some of the A380s. They're the big, massive planes. They're enormous. I have yet to be on one. I've yet to go on one yet. I really want to go on an A380. I've not been on one yet. They have been around for about 14 years, I think now, which isn't a long time at all. So we're talking about that. And I said, yeah, I'm sure they're going to cancel the orders. And there, I'm watching the telly this morning. And can you believe the story that was on the news this morning on BBC News, and it's in some of the papers this morning? The A380 is to be scrapped. They've only been making it 14 years. That's not a long time. In the Daily Mirror this morning, the story here, Airbus, let's just swap that over there, that's better. Europe's Airbus has announced plans to scrap production of the A380 Super Jumbo with fears of over 3,500 jobs. The giant conglomerate, which has huge factories in Bristol and North Wales, is abandoning its dream of dominating the skies with the massive cruise liner after years of lacklustre sales. They simply aren't selling enough. The world's largest airline, with 2 decks of spacious cabins in the Daily Mirror this morning, and room for 544 people in standard layout, was designed to challenge Boeing's legendary 747, but failed to take hold as airlines backed a new generation of smaller, more nimble jets. Now, the trouble with the A380, it can't land anywhere, right? You have to have a long enough runway for it to land. I thought it was, when I first started seeing those in the sky coming into Heathrow, I thought, wow, look at that. And they are, if you get, they're low enough, they are absolutely enormous, these things. Airbus said in a statement that the last A380 would be delivered in 2021. So it's only 2 years. I do feel sometimes we go backwards. It's like with the business with Concorde. And that was cancelled. But it was stopped. I always thought it was due to the accident, and apparently not. It was due to lack of people wanting to go on it. Too expensive. Emirates is yet to take delivery of 14 of the aircraft, with parts such as the wings being made in the UK. Airbus said it would start discussions with its social partners in the next few weeks regarding the 3,500 positions potentially impacted over the next 3 years. The BBC reported around 200 of those jobs are in Britain. The firm said it has taken a decision after Emirates chose to pare back its 380 orders from 160 to A380 orders from 162 to 123 of the aircraft, 14 of which are still to be delivered. But the airline has decided to use more of its A330 to 900s, of which it's ordered 40 and 30 respectively, the smaller ones. Just a great shame again. I think sometimes we do take a step backwards. I understood, I'm not an airline expert or anything like that, but I did understand that the A380s were particularly good at fuel economy, although that would be 14 years ago now. Maybe the newer planes now are even better at fuel economy. But a real shame. I have to get on one of those A380s soon. I want to see the space and all that in there. They're supposed to be wonderful to fly in. My mate's flown on them a few times. I'm sure some of you have as well there. Okay. David, good morning to David on Facebook Live, who said the A380 upstairs is pretty cool with the bar. See, he's been on one there. My mate there, Dallas-Fort Worth is the busiest airport in the world. Hong Kong is freight. Hong Kong is freight. What, busiest for freight? Is that what you're saying, the busiest for freight? I don't know. Not an airport expert. Katie says Hong Kong is the biggest airport in the world. See, I don't know this. You're telling me this, but if you think that, then that's great, okay? Valentino, can you wish Sharina happy birthday? Happy Valentine's Day. Sharina, happy Valentine's Day to Sharina this morning. All right, happy Valentine's Day to you. Okay, lovely. Thomas has never been on an airplane or a cruise ship. Is that right, Thomas? Oh, you must sort that out, Tom. Are you afraid at all of being on a plane? I think we're all afraid a little bit of being on a plane. I must say I do completely switch off to the fact that there's nothing underneath me. For miles. I do worry about that. Paula New says the Ring doorbells are great. I've got one, but the adverts are terrible. I haven't seen the adverts for the Ring doorbell. I tell you what I did see today. Someone posted on Facebook, and I've reposted it, the Christmas advert 2014 for Robert Dyas. Have you seen that? I don't know what possessed them to do that. It starts off, a bloke comes on there and says, "Hello, my name's whatever, John. I work for Robert Dyas and I'm gay and we sell saws," or something. He says something like, "We sell saws. Gay people as well use saws, so that's great with us." And you're like, you what? Very, very strange indeed. Very, very strange indeed. Let's just have a little look at the text this morning. Good morning to Glenda, who's in Pittsburgh, USA. Good morning, Glenda. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Maureen is there. Happy Valentine's Day with Maureen, who's not very well. She's got a cold. Oh, poor Maureen. You do suffer from those colds. Keep warm, Maureen, darling. At least the sun's out for you, darling. The sun's beautiful out there this morning. I want to go to Aldi later. Ronnie, are you still with us? Do you want to go to Aldi later? Do you want to come round and go to Aldi with me if you want to? Thank you, Maureen. Good. Tony says, you tight git, Chris. Just one sausage for a night of pleasure. That's all we need. One sausage, vegan sausage roll. Thank you very much. Now, I don't believe my sister sent that message. Gary's nicked your phone, Sharon. He's just sent me a message about your piles. Claire, what's the point in sending a decent Eurovision song? No one will vote for it. I was disappointed no one wrote Up Yours We're Leaving. I think it would have been our winner. Well, I thought the Freak song would have done well, Claire. You are absolutely right. We have sent some damn good songs over. In particular, I thought the one where, what's his name, played the piano? Lloyd Webber. Yeah, Lloyd Webber played the piano, didn't he? I thought that one. It's my time, my moment. That one. I thought that was really good. Nikki French, don't play that song. Happy, upbeat, got nowhere. Why? Because they hate us. They want the money, but they hate us. But never mind. Goodbye, Mrs. Merkel. Goodbye, Mr. Juncker. Goodbye, Mr. Tusk. It's not even a proper name, is it? Tusk. Who has got a name like Tusk? Stupid old git. Is he the one that's always pissed? Or is that Juncker? There's one that walks around, he's constantly pissed, isn't he? Dreadful man, dear. Tony, they're starting a new X Factor consisting of the best new sad songs, with the gloomiest song being the winner, and to go on the judges' houses. You will love it. I will not love it. It'd be like coming to one of my karaoke sometimes with the amount of depressing songs people sing. We want some heavy rock songs. That's what we want. AC/DC, like what Mark Cording sings. I like that. Good morning to Steve Malley. Morning, Steve. You had a bit of a birthday the other day, didn't you, Steve? Morning to you, Steve. Here's the X Factor story that I've got here. In all the papers again this morning. This is the Sun's versions of it. And it worries me. I mean, I'm not that keen on the X Factor as it is. This will completely stop me watching for it completely if I think what's going to happen to it happens. Simon Cowell has pulled the plug on filming the X Factor this year as part of a huge overhaul. It could see the end of auditions and the introduction of a celebrity all-star version. Oh no. And you know who's going to be on there, don't you? It's almost guaranteed. Gemma, I've just had 200 sausage rolls, Collins. Absolutely guaranteed to hear her screeching her way through something like Mariah Carey's Hero. You just know it. Oh my God. The show is expected to still feature judges. Well, of course they do. They still want the money, don't they? Poor old Cheryl Cole, or little Liam, pretty boy Liam from No Erection. He'll be on it as well. The show is expected to feature judges, but it remains unclear whether last year's lineup of Robbie Williams and his wife, Ada Fit. Now, I saw that. So Robbie Williams was on there. Now, I get that. But the wife, Ada Williams. Or Ada Field. What does she do? Am I missing something here? Is she like a music person? Does anyone know the answer to that question, please? Is Ada Field a music person? Because perhaps she is in the States or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, Eric Wiltshire. Good morning, Eric. What was that, the 80s show where the so-called celebs were dressed up as someone else? This isn't a new idea. Oh, yeah. With Leslie Crowder. Morning, Eric. And they come down the stairs, didn't they? One of my friends, a couple of my friends run it. Alison Moyet. Jackie Can was in it. She did Alison Moyet. She's a lovely person, Jackie Can. So very warm. Very warm. What's that programme? They come down the stairs. You know? You know the one, don't you? And please welcome Chris Reardon as Barry Manilow. Yeah! I write the songs that make the whole world sing. I write the songs of love and special We're not having it a cappella, dear. I want the orchestra. I don't want backing tapes. No backing tapes, dear. I want an orchestra. Gemma Collins, I'm an effing star. I'm an effing star. Stars in their eyes. Thank you, Tony. That's the one. Stars in their eyes. That's the one. Leslie Crowder, he was great, wasn't he? They're bringing back Crackerjack, apparently, aren't they? Crackerjack's coming back. Anyone else saying this? Let's just go back with some of those messages. I'll come back to your messages in a moment. I want to get back on that the run from Ronnie there, talking about the planes. But let's just keep on that story for a moment or two. It says, the shake-up, which means this year's auditions are axed for sure, follows flagging ratings. I think, I don't know if people just don't like it anymore, or people like, because isn't the Strictly Come Dancing thing on at the same time? Do they have that on at the same time? I don't watch either of them, to be honest. I like the look of Strictly Come Dancing. I must say, I love all that sparkling, and it's very, very well made. The two girls that host that since Brucey died are very good, aren't they? I can't remember the names for them. They're that memorable. But they're very good. They come across as friendly and all that. And the judges, they're okay on there. They're not too bad, are they? But I like the sparkle and all the... It's very, very well made, that programme. X Factor, it's just so fake. It's so fake. The same comments from the judges. I hate the way they come down. I know you've got to make an entrance, but Christ, they're like looked at like gods. You're not gods. You're just four normal people who have got a bit more money than the rest of us, except the Queen. A TV insider said Simon Cowell wants to stop the bleed before it's too late and is happy to take drastic action. Well, he has done on his face, hasn't he? Hello, my name's Simon Cowell. I had a bit of work done to my face. Leave your face alone, Simon. No, that's probably bad advice. The trouble is, with cosmetic surgery, once you've had it done, you've got to keep having it done. That's the only thing. Otherwise, it looks terrible. There was a bloke I worked for. I can't tell you his name. Horses wouldn't drag it from me. 200 quid would, I'd tell you straight away. But no, I can't tell you his name. There was a bloke I worked with for years. And he had something done to his face and he kept having stuff done to it. Then he stopped. Well, he looks older than I do now and he's younger. Is he younger? I mean, it might not be younger. It's really aged badly, and that's because he's had stuff done to his face when he was younger. You mustn't do it unless you're happy to keep having it done, and then you can end up looking like Jackie Stallone, can't you? You turn on any American TV show now, and especially the news programmes, the men and the women, they've all had their faces done. Nothing's moving. How fake do you want to look? I should be asking Simon Cowell the same question. How fake do you actually want to look on there? It looks horrendous. Why do they think cosmetic surgery looks good? And all that money, believe me, Mr. Cowell would have gone to the best to have that done. Dreadful. Back to the story. He knows everything that Simon Cowell has a lifespan in show business, so the only way to stop it is to give the viewers something new and very different. Now, I agree with that. Whatever you do in showbiz, whether it's on the television on a Saturday night hosting a big show, or whether it's hosting a little karaoke night somewhere in a pub, hello, it has a lifespan. Eventually, people get fed up with it. And the secret is to know when to go. Okay, there has been a couple of jobs where I should have gone ages ago, but I kept taking the money. The money was good. Okay, I won't lie to you. But there are other jobs, you know, that sometimes you think, oh, it had a little bit more to run in it, and you're pushed before you want to go. It's just how it is. Every single item of showbiz has a lifespan. It absolutely does. And it doesn't matter how big you are, I don't think, in show business. Well, doesn't necessarily give you a guarantee that something's going to work. Take the fantastic, won't have a bad word said about him, Bruce Forsyth, sadly no longer with us. Fantastic. Generation Game, fantastic. Play Your Cards Right, fantastic. I think he did the show we were talking about a little while ago, didn't he? Or some sort of talent show, fantastic. But then he went to London Weekend Television and did Bruce's Big Night Out. Complete and utter dismal failure. Everything has to work together. But everything that does have a shelf life. Eventually, these lovely karaoke nights that I really enjoy doing, and at the moment people really do like to come, eventually that will fall out of favour. I'm fully aware of that, like everything else that we do. That's what happens. Just one of those things, isn't it? But Simon knows this. He says there will definitely be a show this year. X Factor dominates its ITV's biggest show for advertising revenue and dominates their weekend schedule for half the year, so nobody wants to lose it. Well, of course it does, because you've got nothing else on ITV now. All reality shows. ITV BE with the Essex thing, you know, stuff that I hate. The Only Way is Essex, Geordie Shore, all that stuff. I hate it all. That's not to mean that it's not popular. Millions of people tune into these programmes. They like what they see. They like to see people rowing, people shagging, and people just being horrible to each other. People enjoy seeing it. I don't. I'd much happier put on an episode of Benidorm. ITV have just cancelled all that. There is no scripted comedy now on ITV. None. How sad is that? Well, they're frightened of offending people all the time, are they? There's an interesting story in this morning's Daily Mail, actually, about old footage of Ant and Dec, because they blacked up for some characters in one of their programmes years ago. That's a big story today in the Daily Mail. You know, do you think there's anyone in their right mind that think that Ant and Dec and all the production team and all the people involved in that programme blacked them up to offend black people? Do you actually think that happened? No, I don't think so. They were simply playing characters, weren't they? Just ridiculous. Anyway, back to this. Simon Cowell says he hopes the show will be almost unrecognisable by the time it returns. His team was set to begin work this week, but staff were stunned when their contracts were cancelled and shooting halted. So they must have started filming at some point, I suppose, and they just stopped. Cowell's firm Psycho's contract runs to the end of the year, but he's confident a new deal will keep a version on air for at least 3 more years. So, I mean, they're talking about a celebrity one in there as well. Whether or not they do a celebrity version, I don't know. Would it be popular? I suppose it would be. You know, you would have the likes of Gemma Collins and people like that coming on there and singing their piece. Then she would start crying, and then people would feel sorry for her. They'd pick up the phone and vote for her. Then she'd be in the paper and all that. And there'd be people like that on there, you know, like that. Who's that other one on there who can't talk properly? Mark Wright. Yeah, all right, mate. I'm Mark Wright. Welcome to the show. That one. He'd be on there. You'd have them all on there, celebrities, on the X Factor. Interest to me? 0. Absolute 0. Nope. Give me a good comedy, some sort of documentary, something like that. Channel 5 have got some really good documentaries at the moment on about stuff, haven't they? The one we watched last night, Airport. And I quite like one of the best comedy programmes of all time, Can't Pay, Well Take It Away. I love it. I like the old bloke, Paul Bohill, on there. He's great. I love it. Yeah, we've come to evict you. Oh, we haven't had any letters. We've had nothing at all. Yes, you have. How can you stand there and lie barefaced? You think they come round to evict you straight away without any warning whatsoever? I don't think so. Right, let's go back to some of your messages there. Damon, on the subject of the plane, says the A380 can't compete with the Dreamliner. That's a smaller plane, though, isn't it? You know, I thought generally with planes, the bigger they were, the cheaper they were to run. Perhaps that's not the case. I'm not an airline person, so I don't really know there. Ronnie says, I've been in business class on the Emirates A380 and Qatar. Is it Qatar or Qatar? Qatar. I thought Qatar was this. Isn't that Qatar? He says, I've also been in first class, but that was on the 777-300. The A380 is very luxurious, depending on the airline that you fly with. The reason why they are getting rid of it is because it's so expensive to London airports, whereas 2 777 twin engines instead of 4 is only £1,000 rather than £16,500 for a jumbo or A380. What is that, to land at Heathrow? Well, I haven't got a price list in front of me, but is that right? £16,500 to land at Heathrow Airport. My God. Oh, the pigeons are very careful where they stop. You know, the people at Heathrow, they'll be out there with their parking tickets, won't they? Hello to Roldan. Morning, Roldan, one of our karaoke people. Good morning, Roldan. Happy Valentine's Day to you, as indeed Chris Manzar as well. Thank you very much. Tony. Good morning, Tony. I said hello to you, haven't I, there, Tony? Let's just go back a little bit on the other message thing, because sometimes I lose message. Let me do a YouTube first. Did you see in the news, Chris, a stadium announcer fell for a prank at the football last night, asking the crowd with the car owner to move their vehicle with a number plate, anyone for a BJ? Me. Stars in their eyes, everyone is telling us there. Cracker Jack! What happened to all those Cracker Jack pencils? I expect the lead has run out now. I think the same thing's happened to you, hasn't it, Eric? It's your lead run out now, mate. Tony, I never thought I would see in my lifetime shows like Better Than Are You Being Served and Hello Hello. Well, they've all been cat. You don't see those on the telly anymore in case it offends someone. Can't play Are You Being Served in case it offends the gays. Hello, gay, not offended. You thinking of snowflakes, dear? Snowflakes. Let me tell you, when I go out, I melt snowflakes because I've had enough of them. I don't want to see any more snowflakes in my lifetime. Thank you very much. Good morning to Joanna joining us there. Hello, Joanna. Right. Here we go. Back onto the other side now. Let me see. My sister and a nephew are having a row on my. Will you not row on my chat box, please? It's not for you two to run. That's my sister Sharon Butler there. Gary is my nephew, and he's obviously nicked her phone and started typing messages on it. She had a bit of a problem with piles for a while, and he had an abscess on his arse as well. Why are we talking about all these bum? I've got another bum story coming up in a minute. Gustav, Gemma Collins is a little less X Factor, more of a hot cross bun. What, one? I think she's had a few more than one hot cross buns, hasn't she? Why don't she go to Slimming World, Gemma? It's not good for you carrying all that weight. Very, very dangerous carrying a load of weight. I mean, people don't realise it. They laugh. People like Gemma Collins, you probably say something, oh, why don't you go to Slim? Oh, why don't you F off and mind your own business? Because we worry about your health. That's why. Diabetes and all that. People lose limbs with diabetes. They lose limbs. Very, very serious to be overweight. And at such a large amount as well. You know, I mean, even I consider myself I absolutely do. I consider myself overweight by about a stone at the moment. I do. There we are. Lots of people saying stars in your eyes. Good morning to Martin Edwards, joining us a bit late this morning. Ronnie says, wasn't you on? Can't pay well, take it away. No, I wasn't. And I'll tell you what, if you was round here and people knocked at the door, so like, hello, we're going to have to take some stuff away, you'd be the first out, mate. I'll tell you that now. Take him away. Although what they'd get for you at an auction, I do not know. Probably not a lot of money, really. Took the wheels off the caravan. Aren't you awful this morning? Now, what else have I got here? Couple of programmes I watched last night on the telly. Very good programmes to watch. And they're both free. No Netflix required, because I keep talking about Netflix programmes. Shetland. Shetland's back on the telly. Beautiful scenery. Filmed, of course, up there in Scotland on the Isles of on Shetland Islands. It's like a police drama type programme. Very, very good indeed. Watch that. You'll love the scenery. Okay. And last night we had the last episode of The Cleaner, which was on ITV. Again, very good. An ending that I didn't expect, I have to admit. I didn't expect the ending that happened. I thought she was going to get caught. And she didn't. Really, really good. The Cleaner. Probably also on the ITV player thing, whatever that's called. Tonight on BBC One Colour, we got that, again, another police detective type drama called Baptiste, about John Baptiste, who's in France and he solves crimes over there. That was good when it was around last time. I think it was called something else last time, and Baptiste, which it's called this time, is possibly a spin-off from an old programme, although I can't remember what that programme was. So that's the telly I was watching last night. Very good indeed. I had a really nice surprise. I'm going to go in a minute, all right? I had a really, really nice surprise last night when I was sitting around my mate's house, and I got a tweet. From a person that I'd worked with at British Telecom years and years ago. And when I first met him, I was already working for British Telecom, and he was like, "Good morning, everyone. This is Dave. Okay, he's going to be working with us." And my gaydar switched on straight away. I wasn't really out at the time. You must remember, a group full of blokes in there might have been uncomfortable with me being a bit gay. So I wasn't out then. I kind of kept myself to myself. But this boy walked in. And we were both round about the same age. I think I was about 21 and he was possibly 20, 19 maybe, something like that. And he walked in and immediately I detected gayness. I detected, like most of you this morning, I can tell most of you are all puffs on here this morning. I detected gayness straight away. And I said, "Where do you drink then?" That's a good way of saying, if you're gay, you're about to name several gay pubs, right? He said, "Oh, well, I don't really go drinking at the moment." He said, "But I can start if you want me to." And I laughed, and we just kind of left it like that. Anyway, time passed, and he met a girl and got married, and I DJ'd at his wedding. I did his wedding and all this, that, and the other. So that was good, and we're always good friends and that, and time carried on. Eventually, I left the BT job, the engineering job I did, to become a full-time DJ. And it was a great job. I loved working for British Telecom. I absolutely loved the job. I had my little yellow van. And the job changed towards the end. It became a bit more, how can you say, corporate rather than friendly. I found it very friendly when I first started. It became more corporate and people not following you around, but changing the way you do things, and it wasn't so much fun anymore. But nevertheless, I had a good run out of that and I loved it. Going around in my little van, knocking at people's doors, climbing up and down telegraph poles, putting up wires, things like that. I loved it. Anyway, eventually I left and contact was lost. And then years later, I was doing some DJing at the Black Cap in Camden. And this bloke, well, I thought I recognised him. And as he got closer, because I was the stage was right at one end. I was on a stage there. We were right on a stage. And so the entrance is down one end, the stage is like the other end. It was like a big school hall, really, but long and thin, yeah? I spoke, I thought, "Oh my God, that's Dave Jones, my mate from British Telecom." I said, "All right, Dave, what are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I've just come in with my partner tonight." I said, "You're gay?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I knew that from the first time I met you." He said, "Why didn't you say anything? It might have stopped me getting married." I said, "No, you have to go through that. The same as I did. I got married. You have to go through that, unfortunately." At the time, and I think it was the same for him, and I've spoken to another couple of people like that, you kind of know in your head, but you think you should get married because that's how things are, and then things will be all right. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. If you're that way, you're that way. I mean, these idiots who come on the telly sometimes and you're talking to in pubs and things like that, who think you choose to be that way. Not the case, I'm afraid. If you're that small-minded that you can't understand that, then please go away, because I can't be bothered with you. Can't be bothered. That is how you are. You were born like that. You don't choose to be like that. Okay? And a lot of us try and fix it. I was one. You get married. Okay, put it at the back of your mind. There's something wrong here. Get married. It'll be fine. No, doesn't work like that. And I think the same thing happened to him. And he walked into a pub and told me about his partner and all that. And he wasn't in there long. And then he walked out again. And I never saw him again. And I've looked on the Facebook, typed in his name and what have you. Looked on the Google and all that. I mean, Dave Jones. How common is that name? I mean, practically 3/4 of Wales are called Dave Jones. And then now and again, there are a few names that now and again I'll type into Facebook or Google and see if they come up. And you can't find them again. So I think 15 to 18 years has passed. And then last night, I'm sitting there, opened up my tweet thing, and there's a message from him. Chris, I've come across you on Twitter. How are you? Wow. So I've replied to that, and I haven't gone on there this morning. So I'm going to have a little look there and see if he's replied to that now and hopefully speak to him on the phone. But it's just nice to come across little people like that who you got on with for years and years. Sometimes I found you do contact people from years and years ago, either on Facebook or some other method, and you'll get a message one way, then the other way, and then it just stops. It's kind of like they don't really want to know. I've had that quite a few times, actually, which is a bit disappointing. And then there are people that you've known for years and years that and I've mentioned this a few times before, that you are making the effort all the time. You're the one that makes the calls. This can happen with family as well. Happens with family as well. You are making the effort all the time, making the calls, and nothing. And then you stop and you never hear from them again. Or maybe a little bit further down the line, then you make a call like a year later and they say to you, and I quote, this is a particular person actually who will remain nameless, family member actually, who will remain nameless, and I will quote now, "Oh, we wondered what had happened. We haven't heard from you for so long." Well, why didn't you pick the phone up then? See what I mean? So sometimes you try and contact people and they simply just don't want to know. But that's just how it is. That's how it is. So hopefully Dave will have got back to me now. I'll check my tweet when I finish the show. And that's it. Fantastic. Good morning to Lily. Morning to Lily joining us this morning. Hello, lovely Lily. Hope you're well. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. Okay. Alrighty, let's do today's. There's no more text messages, is there? Let me just check there. No more text messages. Okay, birthday time here on the Chris Redden Show, United Kingdom Talk. Happy birthday on this Thursday, the 14th of February, to Sharon Aquarius. Good morning, Sharon. Happy birthday to you. Mr. Ronnie Ruckoff, that's Ronnie's dad. It says here is today 74 years old. And I still haven't met you, Ronnie. Happy birthday to you, Ronnie. Okay, happy birthday to Ronnie Ruckoff this morning. 74 years old today. Jason Flavel is 26 years old today. Happy birthday, Jason. Shannon Marie Wilson. Good morning, Shannon. A young, beautiful 28-year-old this morning. Happy birthday. Tim Cobbett is 30 years old today. David Christopher. Oh, one of my favourite singers, and still waiting, aren't you, David, for that little wedding ring on your finger? 35 today. Happy birthday, David. Gus, who worked the one of the technical people at RTI, aren't you, Gus? Gus Hope Fletish, I think it is. 53 years old today. Happy birthday, Gus. And John Lauder. Looking very good in that photo, John, is a young 36 today. Happy birthday, boys and girls. Here comes a little song for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthdays, boys and girls. Thanks very much for joining us. Excuse me, we only want it once. Why is that looping? Just a moment. Can I just sort that while you're there? Otherwise, I'll forget. I think there's a loop thing, isn't there? There's a loop thing. That shouldn't be looping. Is it looping? Options. Playback. Where's the... Oh, I can't find it now. Nope, I'll have to do it later. Otherwise, I'll forget it. I don't want that looping. Oh, hang on. Where's that now? No, where's that? Is that auto scroll? No. Why is that doing that now? Never mind. I'll have another look in a bit. Oh, hang on. Is that it there? What's that? Shuffle. What's that say there? There it is. Toggle loop. There we are. Loop stopped. Thanks ever so much, gang. Been a pleasure talking to you as always on this Thursday. Hopefully see you again at some point tomorrow morning. Don't forget, always have your little notifications thing switched on. Whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and then whenever we're doing a live show, you should get a little ping or something on your mobile phone. Have a nice day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.